Good afternoon. I'd like to call the Public Safety Committee meeting for July 2nd to order. My name is Steve Havey. I am your committee chair. First thing off, please, we would like to have a roll call.
Mr. Havey.
Here.
Mr. Stockin.
Here.
Mr. Barnes.
Present.
Mr. Bissett.
Here.
Mr. Demick.
Here.
Mr. Healy.
Here.
Mrs. Ricketts Wales. And Mr. Harris. 6 present, 1 absent.
Thank you. Next up, we have approval of minutes from June 4. I'd like a motion, please.
Stocking.
Thank you. And a second?
Demick will second that.
Thank you. Discussion on the minutes. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And those are approved. Thank you. Next up, we have Mr. Ian Jones, our district attorney. He did reach out to tell me that he is in court and he won't be able to be with us. So if you have questions on his report, please reach out directly to him, and I'm sure he has all the answers. Next up, we have Mr. J.R. Santana Carter, Public Defender. Is he here? Okay. Making this easy. We have his report, and you know what to do if you have questions. You can reach out directly to him. However, I do see in the room Mr. Peter Degnan, our conflict defender, and thank you for being here, sir.
How are you today?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing great. So our report is submitted, everything's going great. I was out at court last night. We picked up some new people, and fantastically, we had a lot of positive reports for people who do work for us already. So the people were there. We're just telling everybody how great it is to work here.
It is.
Some other lawyers are going to sign up, so that's great. We keep adding. So really a lot of, from that aspect, really positive. Keep moving forward. Everybody likes, they get paid quickly around here versus a lot of other counties. So yeah, it's all good. They're all very, very happy. And I will say that they love my staff. They always say how great they are and how nice they are and how very supportive they are. So I think I'm really pretty lucky to have them, and they're very supportive, and the people who contact the office, the lawyers, love them. So everything's going good so far.
You're very fortunate, and I can tell you that a lot of other departments in the county also have terrific employees that are very friendly, but thank you for saying that.
Yeah, well, they don't get a lot of love
Appreciate it.
while we're in here, so I thought I'd give them some praise,
Excellent.
When you mentioned,
Go ahead, sir.
people you've dealt with before, you're talking about your clients or these repeat?
Other attorneys.
Other attorneys.
Other
Oh,
attorneys,
okay.
we've dealt with.
I'm sure you don't have any repeat offenders.
I think, now I'm at the stage where I think I've represented parents, kids, and I don't know if I hit the grandparents yet or the grandkids
I'm
yet,
sure
but
you
I
have,
think I'll be hitting them, Makes me feel
There you go. They need a little more, they just need a little more help, a little more money.
That's right. So we do have an MOE if anyone has any questions about that.
Would you introduce it, please, just so we know
Yep.
what it is and
So
what it
we're
does?
trying to get Lexus AI. This is going to come out of our Aid to Discovery grant, so it's not going to be any cost to the county. Excuse me. It's we do have Westlaw, but we want to be able to support the assigned attorneys with some type of legal research. I think it's going to, and it's going to help them with motions. They can do AI-generated motions, and then it links them to the law. So what the proposal is that we're going to allow people to use it on a temporary password basis. So if you have a big case, we'll give you a password. It'll be temporary. Once that case is done, then we'll cut it off. So, we're not providing free Lexus for them forever, but as an aid to when they have big cases, we can provide that for them. And that, some of the other, I think Monroe County gives temporary Westlaw passwords, but we wanted to take it out of the loop because a lot of the departments do use Westlaw, so they could use Lexus, and we could provide that to them, and that's going to be a real that's going to be a very positive thing for our attorneys. And just, you got to move forward or you're moving backwards. So we're always going forward. So we want to make things better for the people who work here and work for the county. So that's just another benefit that we're going to try and provide to them.
Okay. If I could have a motion and a second so we could do discussion.
Demick will move it.
Thank you. And a second? Thank you. Okay. Any discussion on this or questions on it, please? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? And that is approved. Very good. What else can we do for you today, sir?
I don't know. I got all the good news. Next month I'll have some more good news. So we'll keep it going.
We're
It's all
starting to depend on you for good news.
that's right. It's always good news.
All
Well,
right,
look at
thank
this.
you.
We have one of my favorites here.
Doesn't happen often. Okay. Okay, at this time, I'd like to introduce you all, those who haven't met him, our new Director of Emergency Management, Mr. Scott Golden. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Committee Chair Habe, thank you. Committee members. Yes, I'm Scott Golden, new director, going into week number 3 here. So starting to getting things underway. Met with a lot of our great partners and department heads and really starting to get things going the right direction. As far as our first brief, I'd be honored to have Bonnie brief for the first part, and then Bill will go over the fire report. And then for next month, I'll be flying solo, if that's all right.
Thank you, sir.
All right?
Okay,
Should
who's
we
up
do them
first,
all?
Bonnie?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. For the last month, some of the things that have been happening is we've been working on our course sponsorship that we have to do every 2 years for New York State Department of Health to keep our education, our EMS education. It's a long process to get everything done, all the signatures. So I've been working on that. We've also been working on many of our IAPs, our incident action plans. We did one for the Estival Festival. Also went up and did a walk around for safety purposes to see what was up there. Thank you to Scott and MTS's crew that we went up with them, and he could kind of give us a rundown of how things were going. We also are still working with our paramedic students. They're the only classes going on for the next, until August, when we start our next EMT class. We've been working with them on their clinical time. They've got so many hours of clinical time they have to have done by the end of the summer, so we've been working with them to make sure that we're getting their clinical time up and going. So it's been rather busy, and then helping Mr. Golden.
Excellent. Any questions on Bonnie's report? Mr. Rumfeld?
So I just started, do you have any plans for any community CPR courses? I know with the Save in Wellsville their day, it probably wouldn't have been possible. The civilian didn't know CPR, so.
Yes, we actually are. I'm trying to get some of my instructors to do it, so we aren't out. Mandy and I are both instructors, but to try to keep us in the office to do stuff, I am trying to get some of them. If not, her and I will be doing, probably like quarterly we'll do them, just so that we're not out of the office, not really, we're in the same building, but it takes, as you know, a good half day to do one, so, but yes, we will.
Other questions for Bonnie? Okay, I guess you're excused and Bill's up. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I just got to adjust that from Bonnie's height disadvantage. I really don't have much to report. I've been gone all of July pretty much at training, as you can see on my report, so.
Yeah.
We did have a flooding incident that, did you all get that?
Yep,
Kind
we
of a
have that.
rundown of all the calls per village or
Yeah.
town?
72 calls.
72 calls, yes. There was a few saves out of county, I believe, like in Cat County, Ishaway area. They did do some water rescues out that way.
I appreciate you being out and doing the training. That's a necessary evil, I know.
Yes, it is.
Any questions for Mr. Day with his report? You're off the hook, sir.
I like it.
Yes,
He did.
come right back.
He did do more than what he said. During that flooding, there was, Cuba Lake was flooding, and we got the calls up, and, well, I was on vacation, but got the calls, and he went out and met with the DEC and the New York State to get that started. we are still working with them on trying to get some mitigation stuff done for further issues. But we have met with them several times. I remember working with the Town of Cuba supervisor and the lake. It's a New York State-owned lake, so they have called the New York State and us in to both work on debris removal and trying to get things back to normal. So he didn't tell you that, but he did a lot of work on that.
That's excellent. By the way, Bonnie, I'm glad that you came back up. I neglected to say before that this committee thanks you very much for filling in the Office of Emergency Management until Scott came on board. We do appreciate that very much. Thank you. And Mr. Golden, I think we have one piece of business here.
Yes, sir, and that's an excellent segue into that. Thanking Bonnie for, filling the gap. I do have the request to create and fill position for a deputy for my office. The rationale was on there. I believe you all have it in front of you, the request to create and fill. Justifications at the bottom, there's 4 bullet points. But basically, that's pretty standard procedure, and as far as having a deputy, as far as succession of command, clear chain of command guidance, in absence of the director to review documents and such, and signature authorities. So the other department heads have one as well, so I figured we'd see if we can get
Healy
that.
will move it for discussion.
Thank you. In a second?
Yes, sir.
What's that?
Thank you, sir. Okay, we are open for discussion. Mr. Healy, you want to go first? Did you have something?
So is this going to be an existing person or what's?
Yes, the plan would be to do a create and fill. So Bonnie would be the, my recommendation for deputy, and then she'd also continue her roles for EMS coordinator as well.
Okay. Sounds like a good plan to me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Somebody else? Other comments? Yes. Go ahead, Mrs. Burdick.
You probably already know what I'm going to ask, but maybe you don't, because you haven't been around long. It does not say it's in the budget, so how is this going to be funded?
So I did some basic research on that, and I believe we have room in the budget checked ahead of time, and it looks like there is some room in there for that.
I believe there's room in the budget for this position. This position itself was not budgeted, if that makes sense. There's cost savings already in the budget that will cover this position for this year.
Excellent. Other questions? Anyone? No? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? And that is approved.
Thank
Mr.
you, sir.
Golden, welcome, and thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for your support.
You're
Thank
off
you,
the
sir.
hook.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Up next, we have Scott Grantier, our probation director. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. I'll follow suit with Peter Degnan and colleagues in emergency services with good news and good work being done with some updates. But first, I'll just reference the monthly report for June and answer any questions that you have.
Okay. Anybody have a question for him? Okay. We have a piece of business then to do, don't we?
I just want to give a couple updates, if I could. Alfred State College Criminal Justice Program just completed their third cycle of the BCPO, which is Basic Peace Officer Certification course. We're just so fortunate to be able to do this locally. We had one graduate this cycle, but this is being utilized by Central Western New York region is a great resource. We look forward to building on this. I was myself able to facilitate one of the modules, and we had our supervisors deliver the keynote speech at the graduation, which was well received. And we're just proud to be a part of that with Alfred State College on a local endeavor. So, finalizing the 2025-26 Supervision and Treatment of Juveniles Program Plan. This is the otherwise referred as the acronym of the STSJP. And this is going to be coming due in middle of August, so I want to get ahead of it a little bit and just discuss where we intend to go with this. This is a renewal. We always historically have applied for this grant opportunity. This grant is reimbursed at a rate from the state of 62%, 38 local. I intend to move forward with this with your permission for 25-26 fiscal year, with not much change in the amounts or the bottom lines, but a very different program, which is in discussions now, has been in discussions for several months with our local DSS, some partner agencies internally, and with county administration, as far as we really want to make this look differently and more of a home-based model for interventions, for expediency and effectiveness on how we deal with our juvenile population that comes through the PINS or the JD process. So that's a lot said to ask for permission to apply for the grant, submit that application probably in late July.
Okay.
And that's the MOE before you.
Healy, move it.
Motion? Okay, second? Oh, you, okay, all right, very good, thank you. And now discussion.
Well, your PINS numbers, have increased, I assume, when they raised the age also, and is that a fair assumption or not?
Well, month to month, we were seeing a downtrend, but as soon as school picks up, we anticipate those numbers to go up relatively high. You know, you'll see for the last month in June, we didn't have any, and I'm aware of 3 of them just since this report was submitted.
And that's normal too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And I'll have more detail moving forward as we get closer to that final contracts and such, if we do get accepted and as this moves forward. But this is the first step.
Mrs. Burdick?
I noticed there's 149,000 plus share, local share. Is that in your budget, or is that coming from in-kind, or?
Yes, this was, I used the figures we used from last year, and we did not spend it. That was what was approved within the budget last year, and I don't see a change in that looking forward to 2025, 26. So I just went on that baseline, and that will be in the budget proposal. Yep.
Other questions, comments? Huh? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? And that is carried. Anything else we can do for you, sir?
No, I thank you, and we look forward to probation, parole, and pretrial appreciation week, the week of July 21st through the 25th. And hard to believe we're halfway through the year already,
Yeah,
but
no kidding.
here we are. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, sir. Okay, up next, we have the Sheriff's Department. Today, we are honored to have the Undersheriff, Mr. Walt Mackney. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. The sheriff's apologies, couldn't be here today. He's taking some much-needed and well-deserved vacation time with his family. I believe you have copies of his reports, and if there are any questions, I will try to answer them as best I can.
I want to compliment the department and the sheriff and yourself on the thoroughness of the reports. There's a great deal of information here, and it answers questions that lots of times we wonder about. And this is very thorough, and it's much appreciated. Anybody have any remarks or questions on the report? Mrs. Burdick.
I just have a question. You've got the revenue from the ICE prisoners. Was that in this year's budget at all, or is that just additional revenue that we're going to see?
That, as far as I know, is additional revenue.
Mr. Harris, did you have something, or did I? No, I was pointing it. You were? You should stop that. Okay. Other questions?
Just curious, we've had federal prisoners for years and different things. Is the ICE stuff just from the more recent immigration crackdown, or is this possibly some of the usual stuff that comes through Niagara Falls, Buffalo?
So my understanding, and I'll defer to Major Ivers briefly on this, that we've had contracts with ICE in the past.
We have had contracts with ICE in the past. This ICE contract
Come on down.
We have had ICE contracts in the past. This ICE contract is piggybacked on the Marshall contract that exists, and that's how it got done so quickly.
Just wondering, there'd be a lot of public thought that anything they see ICE is current immigration crackdown, but some of this has been going on with us for years. So,
Other questions on the report, please? Okay, no more questions. I think we have some business at the end.
Where would you like to start?
Well, let me get back here because the report that I was so happy with is long and I have to get to the end of it. Okay, there I am. Stand by. Okay, I think the first one I have, I hope I didn't miss any. This is the acceptance of a grant, $75,000. I don't know if everybody has that in front of them. This is, it's the Edward Vine Memorial Justice Assistant Grant.
Stockton moves.
Okay, in a second.
Demick will second it.
Thank you. Discussion? I believe this is the one that has no local share,
That is correct. There's no match, no local
which is
share.
good. We like that. Okay, any other questions? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? And that is carried. The next one I have is requesting permission to issue a request for proposals for upgrade, maintenance, and installation work to be completed on the 911 communication towers. This project is fully funded by New York State DISHES and SICG grants. So, this is maintenance on the towers.
Helio, move it.
Thank you in a second.
Demick will second it.
Thank you. Discussion?
The funding for this, I mean, goes back to, right, I believe it's the surcharges on cell phones, is that correct?
That's correct, and it's part of Homeland Security also.
Yeah, we had to wrestle with this for a long time to get our share here, but we finally got it, so it's good. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Other questions for the sheriff or undersheriff? Okay. Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? That is carried. Up next, I have a deputy sergeant temporary to fill, and I'm sure you guys have that in front of you. I'll take a motion for discussion.
Helio, move it.
Thank you. A second.
Stockton.
Thank you, Mr. Stockton. Okay, discussion. Seeing none. All those in favor? Whoops, there was one.
Yeah,
I beg your pardon.
maybe you can explain this in a little more detail.
Sure. So part of this is an anticipation of a retirement of Sergeant Rand Beckman that's going to be coming up shortly. And the other part of it is that Sergeant Grusendorf is currently off on an extended injury and is going to be off for some time. So we lack a supervisory position there. This, I believe, although temporary, upon Sergeant Beckman's retirement, will be moving for a permanent.
Thank you.
Okay. Other questions? Okay. Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? That is carried. And lastly that I have is a request to fill 5 part-time emergency dispatchers.
Demick will move it.
Thank you. In a second.
Helio, second.
Thank you. Questions? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? And that is carried. Anything else that we can do for you today, sir?
No, sir. We've done quite a bit. Thank you.
Thank you very much for being here. We do appreciate it. Any unfinished business? New business? Good of the order? If not, I will take a motion for adjournment, please.
Passat?
Thank you, Mr. Bissett. Second?
Healy.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed?